relationship between Uganda and China is rooted in friendship, and we therefore view each other's development as its own opportunity, and together we seek to promote mutual development and prosperity.
You are not meeting just government people, you're meeting government people who have a sense of business and what to do for Africa. And we will really work with you to ensure that we can achieve the strategic objective for C&D, but also for Uganda. We have 16 million cows. Our cows are the ancient cows. They are 5,000 years old, like China. They have long horns. Their meat is very well marbled. It has yellow fat. Yellow fat does not cause cholesterol. White fat causes cholesterol. If you look at this, Uganda looks small there, but it is 250,000 square meters of land, but it is connected to Kenya, Tanzania, South Sudan, Rwanda, Burundi. It's one community. And in that community, you can source some of the commodities you're looking for. So Uganda is just simply like a basin. And so this is the East African community. I think, Victor, you left out DR Congo. It's part of them. With DR Congo, you are on Atlantic Ocean and Indian Ocean. So you have two parts of the two oceans, and it's huge landmass. Congo alone is the size of Europe, the whole of Europe. So if you add the other 6 countries, I'm looking for some red. Which one? Is it this one?
This is Congo.
Which one? Oh, no. It doesn't. Okay, but it's okay. We'll take time. Okay. So that's DR Congo where I stand. It's poor for the last 62 years. 62 years. And I will tell you why. So this mass of land, I can understand it is very confusing for anyone who has never visited Africa. But we are talking about this one country shipping from here using the port of Mombasa. Okay? So what did I do? Okay, so that's us. I will introduce our team after. He's Ugandan, but lives in Kenya. And so this is like where we were sleeping in not Shenzhen, I think in Guangzhou. This is on the second largest freshwater lake in the world. That's where the capital city of Kampala is. I keep going making this mistake. So you have so temperate. It means you are on the equator, but you can do snow skating, ice skating, on some of our tallest ranges. And then you are in savanna. Savanna is where you grow almost all the crops, all the grains. You are in Equatoria. This is where you have the last remaining relations of human beings, the baboons, the gorillas, the vegetation, the timber, the mining, and Eastern Congo has a lot of that. And then the people are friendly, very warm, and very fast-growing population. So a combined Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, South Sudan, DRC, we add about 5 million people every year onto our population. And those people really require good products for consumption, They require television sets. They require medicine. So just Uganda alone, we are importing $550 million of human medicine, Uganda alone. From where? Britain, India, very small from China, very, very small. America, Dubai. But I just saw that you are in pharmaceuticals. We could use the state to stop that importation as long as we're able to manufacture and distribute within Africa some of the pharmaceuticals and cosmetics. You want corner to corner, 365 days, it's very, very warm. And we have fresh water, 41,000 square kilometers of fresh water, where you are able to produce some of the largest fishes in the world. Nile perch weighs 100 kilograms when it's fully grown. Tilapia, catfish, and we want to produce 1 million tons of fish for export to Europe. So I am looking for investment in fish feeds and production of large capacity fish for export. And so these are our tea plantations in some of the major parts of our country. Our airports, so we have 2 airports. I think you know your country, shouldn't talk about your country. Those 2 airports, we're aiming at cargo, shipping out of Entebbe, but of course shipping by air is expensive. Yeah. But we're trying to make sure that supplies within Africa, short distances, we can do it. And together with, as East Africa, at Mombasa, we have large spaces for storage of cargo, which we can develop very specifically if we have orders of C&D for particular products. And next year, we'll be producing 60,000 barrels of oil per day. And so our consumption will go up. Our need for petrochemicals, for pharmaceuticals, for road construction, for tar, these will go up. So the market will shift, but it will shift with those who are invested in the country and not just sort of supplying the market. So we hope to add $10 billion by 2030 on our GDP with this. And so let me be quick. So these are mineral reserves. These, you can see the quantities available for some of the mineral reserves. So we made a law that says you cannot take out diamond from Uganda or gold or copper unprocessed. Actually, including coffee. We don't want unprocessed green beans. So Kafina is very happy to keep us in green beans. So I was giving Ida an example when we were up when we arrived. Last year we sold to Italy because Sucafina is based in Switzerland. And so are the top 10 coffee distributors. Switzerland just takes off a portion of the money, but 6 European countries control 100% of all coffee roasteries in the world. Now, Sucafina is sourcing from a local entity green beans. Sucafina sells to a company called Lavazza and Ili. Lavazza is based in Turin. Ili is based in Trieste. Italy, every year, buys $170 million worth of coffee from Uganda. But they make $4.5 billion out of it. So 170 million versus 4.5. They sell another 2.5. So combined, Italy makes about $10 billion from the Uganda coffee. We make 170. We think that's because they're taking green beans. There is no roasting. There is no distribution. And I'm very excited about C&D because 20,000 stores, you just need to tell us what is it you want and how do you want it, so that we can walk backwards and see how to fulfill the standard you want and get you into the country. And I'll answer some of the questions. So these are the mineral resources of the country, and some of them, here we have 7 refineries, and we are exporting $1.9 billion of gold to the Middle East, to India, to the USA.
Who is doing the trading or mining trading service?
Who is?
Yeah, by the international guys or your own company. I mean, for example, the city have a factory. We just merge a copper factory in China, and we import copper ore for our own factory. So, but right now, I know they import from.
And I'm speaking to you as brothers and sisters because we understand how China grew.
Yeah.
And this is what we wish for Africa. Glencore buys ore from Zambia, parts of South Africa, parts of French West Africa, and they make what you call not pyrite. They make 92% of that ore and export it and distribute it across the world as a commodity. In Uganda, we are asking for processing up to 99.5 because we have cable wires for construction of pipelines, for construction of factories, plus the whole of Africa is buying these copper wires simply to do electricity for schools, for hospitals. So the model of Glencore is to take ore and return it as a finished product. That's almost like carrying soil from Uganda and separating soil in China and returning a finished product. So our model is this. When we have C&D wanting a copper mine, a diamond mine, we invest with you and we bring customers for offtake of some of those products, or we give you incentives. We say don't pay taxes for 10 years, don't give another license to anyone for that period until you are able to process up to a particular point and then take out. Even if it's a semi-finished product, it leaves us with some jobs, it leaves us with some patents and technology, but it also creates other related industries. So for example, we cannot tin beef, yet we have tin. We have about 30 million tons of tin all over the country, but we've been importing tinned beef and tinned products, yet if you get tin and copper, you could create brass, which you use for bullets, and we have a lot of stuff that we make in the country and sell. We're looking for a new model that allows us to retain part of the processing in the country. Now, because China is special to us, coffee, for example, will allow that you directly take some green, but we have to roast a percentage of that coffee in the country to your standard, to what you want. And we can finance farmers. We can finance the whole value chain for you as long as the price and the distribution is right. Okay, so Wilson, I just want you to know, I want you to tell them that I understand very well the effect of decoupling from people like Sukafina and Glencore, because they're international. They have logistics, they have ships, they have ports. When you are a business, you want to make it easier. So decoupling or cutting them off immediately could cause them problems. So we are going to apply the Deng Xiaoping model. What did Deng Xiaoping say in 1981? He said, when you are crossing a river, you grope for stones so that you don't sink. So he says Shenzhen is our river crossing. He said, Shenzhen, you first test. Xiamen, you test. Don't bring industries in the hinterland. First see that the export model works, and then it will. So we will be careful to not decouple companies like C&D, but we start slowly with them because they need to source organic, good coffee directly. Plus, this whole idea of blending with Colombia coffee, Ethiopia coffee, we can do test profiles for that blending with them. We can connect these payment measures. You imagine really, you are paying a Ugandan company, but you have to pay them in euros in Switzerland. Then the Ugandan company changes euros to dollars, then sends to Uganda shilling. Because we can work with Afri-Exim Bank, which is headquartered in Cairo and in Uganda, to give you a payment measure or system of renminbis to suppliers. We can fix that. Huh? So you are not meeting just government people, you're meeting government people who have a sense of business and what to do for Africa. And we will really work with you to ensure that we can achieve the strategic objective for C&D, but also for Uganda. I stepped out to take a call from the president of our country. He knows I'm trying to find something. Huh? It's very important that when I return, I say, I met C&D. We agreed on a solution for coffee, and we are going to strategically co-invest with them. Very important to us because we're a small country, small GDP, but huge potential for the future of what I can tell you is happening. We're kind of shifting to the East because the East gives us bread. When I say East, I'm talking about Asia. Bread is easy to make. The West gives us cakes. Cakes are tasty, but you don't know how to make cakes. So we want to make the bread together, okay? So part of what we are trying to resolve, let me show you. So we have 10 million tons we produce annually of bananas. And when I say banana, it's not one type, it's 30 to 50 types, yellow, blue, green, very different tastes. Huh? And I can imagine the large China market testing what we call the small apple bananas. Very sweet and tasty, small but nice. These, they rot on the roadside because we are not processing them enough. We are making, for example, biscuits, instant porridge. Bananas don't have gluten like wheat. Wheat has gluten. Gluten in protein is very easy to attach cancer cells. Huh? Bananas don't. Huh? So in these products, there is a sense of medical benefits. But they are not patented because you don't know Africa, you don't know Uganda. So I'm interesting you to really know that there is another part of the world that has solutions, but it's kind of sealed off to you. And our work is to ensure that you understand that part of the world. We have 16 million cows. 16 million cows, on average, our cow weighs 150 kilograms. It's small. The Brazilian cows weigh around 350 because they are genetically modified. Our cows are the ancient cows. They are 5,000 years old, like China. They have long horns. Their meat is very well marbled. It has yellow fat. Yellow fat does not cause cholesterol. White fat causes cholesterol. So how can I get this into Chinese restaurants? Only C&D can help me. Okay? So we are making some meat and selling it to the UN in the region, but it's too small. Too small. Cement, I really don't have to waste time for you on this. You produce much more. Coffee. So we are selling this brand in Chicago. We have an outlet in Chicago, and this, from here, that's where I'm going. to see if they can take more roasted coffee. So if we can take roasted coffee to Chicago, certainly, we can understand some Chinese taste profiles. And we can get this done. We're here to make sure that we can come out with a common position to present to the government of Uganda on what we have agreed to do, and to the government of China. We want to make sure that our outcomes are reflected in the September FOCAC summit.